Okay, let's start with Elijah Hollands, if we can, Laura, because a lot of people would have watched it last night. He was behaving erratically out on the MCG. A little bit is happening. Now, you've spoken, Laura, to Carlton. We've got a statement from the AFL. Give us the latest on what's happening there.
Yeah, so look, they've been under the pump big time with this one. No surprises. I think a lot of people were very concerned about the vision that they saw on field, but also on the bench. We know that Elijah Hollands came to the bench in the fourth quarter, but I've seen some video footage of him after he was told you're not playing anymore, still bouncing around on the sideline, agitating like he was going to go back on. So, look, they've got a lot to work through at the moment. They're telling me it's a very sensitive issue and they would respect that it's treated sensitively. But the statement from the Carlton Football Club says they're continuing to provide close and ongoing care to Elijah Hollands, who suffered a mental health episode on Thursday night. The 23-year-old is continuing to receive the appropriate level of medical and wellbeing support. His welfare is the number one priority. The club also remains in contact with the AFL and the AFLPA, given the complicated nature of what occurred on Thursday night. We acknowledge the public interest of this, but we ask that his privacy be respected. So I asked another couple of follow-up questions. He's not in hospital. I asked when the mental health episode occurred. Was it something the club was aware of pre-game? Was he subject to any additional medical consultations with the doctors that were there? And they just said, look, it just unfolded on Thursday night. To their knowledge, didn't have any additional conversation with the medicos before. He also, basically, Michael Voss, it was very fresh when he did his press conference, so they're not aware of how much he may have known by the time he fronted the media, because obviously the focus in that was on Elijah being very disappointed with his performance and that he'd apologised to Michael Voss saying, I'm really sorry about my performance out there. But, you know, they said, look, we don't know how much Michael Voss was aware of at that point in terms of the mental health episode. It's now in the hands of the AFL, who are having ongoing discussions with the club and the AFLPA, but there's no doubt that it is complicated because, to my eyes, something has gone wrong somewhere along the chain for him to be able to play a match in which it was clearly visible, I think, that he wasn't up to it. So at some point, he played the best of 3 quarters of football. At some point, it should have been, I think, it should have been pulled up, but it wasn't. Yeah. So that's why it's complicated.
They made the call at 3/4 time. So no one noticed it at Carlton before the game? Did you ask that question?
I asked that question, and look, the official line is that there was nothing before the game to rule him out of the game. But, you know, there's obviously been a lot of conversations that have been had around this in the last 24 hours, and, you know, the reports are that there was something that the players did notice in advance. They were aware that he didn't sleep well the previous evening. I did ask for confirmation on those reports that he had a heartbeat monitor on in the second half. That was reported on the 7 broadcast last night. They wouldn't confirm that. But what we've heard also from other members of our team who were closer to the bench last night was that it looked like the players on both sides were aware that something was not right.
Joel, Selwood and Tony Shaw, 2 premiership captains and leaders. Joel, it was sad to watch, wasn't it? Really?
Oh, it was, Matty, yeah. And, I mean, all that being said, and I haven't been in a situation as a player or as a captain of a player out on the field that has had an episode like we saw last night. But what I have full faith in across the league is our doctors and the job that they have at hand and what they do. There's psychs within the rooms these days and a heap of professionals. So how I look at it is purely that he was in a state when, obviously before the game, that, you know, he was fit enough to take the ground. That episode, we're unsure when it came on, I believe, Laura, and I think if we're to blame anyone, I think it's just a little unfair. You know, as it played on through the night, maybe he could have picked up. Maybe it was best practice to keep him out there, to keep him going, as bad as it may have looked. We've just got to take the doctors for what they do and how professional they are.
Because, Jock, give us an insight, because people will be going, how come no one saw it beforehand? How much interaction would a player have with doctors, with coaches, with physios before they actually go out?
So not even before they go out. I mean, that's one thing. You usually see everyone within the corridors a lot before the game. There's not a lot of people within the rooms apart from the last 20 minutes when there's a few that drip feed in there from coder groups that watch the last bit of warm up. But it's pretty calm usually. It's usually you're just working through everything. So Yeah, I mean, and nothing must have popped up at any stage that, put a question mark whether he should be out there or not.
Shorey?
I'm with Joel. This is bigger than football now for him as an individual. We just worry about, his health, and you leave it in the hands of the people who, are professional in that area. Whether they saw it or not, I don't know. I think if they had thought something was wrong, they would have called it. And that's what's so great about, like, our staff in football clubs and our doctors. And that's why, for me, any class action against those people, I just don't get it. I've never been put on the field in a situation by AFL, VFL, clubs, coach, or, anybody where I ever felt that they were putting me out in danger. And that's just not them. So I just think let it go until they do their research. I feel it was scary, and I feel that I don't think he should play until all research has been done for his own health, and forget about football at the moment. Let's just get it right, and hopefully he does get back. But if he doesn't, the health is what it's all about now.
Yeah. I agree with all that, but let's just leave that all to the doctors. Because that may be sooner than later. Like, we never know. Like, there's scenarios all around the league of blokes with guys I speak of that are having personal leave at the moment that we shouldn't comment, and when they come back we should celebrate that we've got them back to our game and hopefully in good spirits too. But there's no better place to be than footy clubs when you're actually having a hard time, that's for sure.
And they might come up with medication that he hasn't tried or has, and it could change it around. He could play in 2 weeks, or something. So you just got to leave it to them.
So they haven't provided a time frame because it is too early. I did ask whether he would be in the club in any capacity next week, and obviously they can't tell just yet, which is understandable. But, Elijah Hollands is on the record with talking about his mental health. He said he had a panic attack when he played a game against the Sydney Swans in the past. Right. So previously he has had an episode that has come up during a game. Obviously, there's a degree of confidentiality about this where they don't really want to confirm exactly what the mental health episode was. I mean, we're not entitled to know that anyway, but normally they don't even feel compelled to tell you that. I mean, I think that's been progress in itself, right? That they'll actually come out and say to you,
yes,
it's pressure.
No. Like,
it's a bit of pressure.
I don't think we deserve to know. I know I work on this side of the field now, but I don't think it's
anyone's business.
Anyone's business, because to be honest, I'm standing back here and I can't help Elijah. And either can anyone in this box right now. And if you're sitting here listening to us too, like, he's going to have people around him that can help him day to day take those steps forward in life, and that's the most important thing.
See, even what the AFL's trying to do, that they'll have a look at it and see what happened. Yeah, but you've got to keep that as secret as possible. You don't want all this stuff. Well, I don't know, the AFL are going to do it because everybody that's made news now, they always will put their nose in. But if you're going to do it within club and keep it secret and confidential so that it doesn't blow up to some media circus that the kid doesn't want and the club doesn't want and doesn't need it.
I agree with you, Joel, that this kind of attention isn't going to help him.
No,
all these conversations. But the problem was that it was visible. And I think in a lot of the personal leave situations that we have had prop up, where there have been players on leave, like Bobby Hill, for example, we are just told they're on personal leave. We're not privy to those details. We don't see evidence of what that personal leave looks like.
Things happen in game that we never know about. That you would be things are happening in games, in players' personal lives that we have no idea about. Joel, and you would know that. Yep. But because it was so public, we know about it.
Yeah, and I understand that part of it too. It doesn't allow us then, as general public, to understand the full story. Unfortunately, for those people that do want to know, like, it's just a part of it. That let's just hope that he's back soon and in good spirits and in good health more than anything.